Hi, and welcome to Code Corner. This is a video series we do at Mayfield Renewables where we talk about codes and standards as they relate to the solar and solar plus storage industries. Today, I'm going to talk about the International Fire Code, IFC, and specifically going to look at Section 1207 5.8, which is Means of Egress Separation. This is an interesting topic because we've talked about size and separation of our energy storage units before, and size and separation from each other and size and separation from buildings and things like that. And this is just one other aspect of that size and separation we need to consider. So we're going to look at means of egress specifically, and then I'm going to talk about a section where when you're doing outdoor installations where it can be a little confusing and there's a little bit of a conflict, I guess you could say, or a little bit of where we need to look at the two different sections and apply the two requirements and make sure that we are meeting both of them at the same time. So I'll get to that one towards the end. So first off, let's just size and separation. What does it look like? In this situation, again, we've talked about this in other videos in the past. We have 1207 8.3 that talks about how far away we need to be from different areas, different public ways, lot lines, buildings, things like that. But today, what I really want to focus in on is this means of egress. So again, 5.8 is your section. And the means of egress, what we're thinking about is when we're putting our energy storage systems outside. I'll show you the language in the next slide. But when we're putting our energy storage outside and we're putting it near a means of egress, so where people are trying to exit out the building in an emergency situation, we need to make sure that we give them enough space, the people being able to exit the building and not being put into harm's way because of the energy storage system. So that is really what we're talking about. It's on top of all of these other requirements that we have for separation from buildings and areas of exposure, basically anything that might be flammable or things like that. So we're kind of adding this into that mix of everything else that we have to look at. So let's look at the language here. So on the screen here, you see the charging language for our means of egress separation. And you read through that, and essentially we have this 10-foot requirement from this, be able to have safe egress under fire conditions. And really you can see this language required by the code official, but in no case less than 10 feet is how it's read there. So 10 feet being that minimum value. Now, of course, there is going to be an exception. We've gone through size and separation enough on other topics where we're going to look and we're going to see an exception. So I'll pull that up for you in a second. But the big thing here is to note, again, it's as required by the code official, and then we have a distance limitation that's not less than 10 feet. The exception is going to look a lot like the exception we've talked about before and that you're likely familiar with on the actual ESS units themselves, where we have a requirement. In this case, we're showing it in this picture. We have these size values, the 50 kilowatt hours, and we have the space requirement, the 3 feet. That's the charging language in code. So baseline, those are the requirements. Just like in those sections, we do have an exception for 5.8 that says if you, the manufacturer, have done large-scale fire tests and can prove this to the fire code official, you can take that 10 feet down to a smaller value. And so really what this comes down to is the 9540A testing that manufacturers will go through and do and show what happens if and when the ESS goes into thermal runaway, and how far can we keep, or how far do we need to be separated from other things in order to maintain a safe distance. And in this case, it's means of egress. So we're concerned with people exiting that building, and specifically exiting that building if there's thermal runaway event going on with that ESS, and making sure that they can maintain a safe distance and not be put in harm's way. So 10 feet again is that minimum, but we do have exceptions based on what the testing shows and what the fire code officials will allow. Now, the second part of this that I wanted to talk about was this difference or this requirement for exterior wall installations. We're going to see a little bit of a difference here between the requirements when we're specifically doing exterior wall installations. So the thing to note is in this section, so we moved into 1207 8.4, and we see that it's permitted to be installed outdoors on exterior walls. And so we're considering this an outdoor installation. We just happen to be putting these on the walls of the buildings now. And so you can see there's 5 different things there. I'm going to really focus in on the last one, but we have another big one is that number 1 is that those units are going to be limited to 20 kilowatt hours. So in our commercial applications, units are limited to 50 kilowatt hours. And what this is saying is if you mount that on the exterior of a wall, then you're going to be down to 20 kilowatt hours. And that's essentially taking it down to residential applications. The other 2 are showing there, we're going to be required to meet 1207. We're going to be required to meet the manufacturer's instructions. And then you see that language that you've seen over and over again. Units are going to be spaced 3 feet from each other. And this is the one that I really wanted to kind of bring that attention to. ESS separated from doors, windows, operable openings into buildings or HVAC inlets by at least 5 feet. And that is a difference than residential. 3 feet are those numbers for residential. And in this case, the doors and windows, mainly doors, but what we're concerned about is what about means of egress? And so we need to take those 2 things into account and make sure that we match those up, the means of egress requirement and this exterior wall installation requirement. And then you do see there's also, again, that exception. We can do testing, large scale fire testing, and still do something less than the 3 feet or the 5 feet, provided the testing shows that and the fire code official accepts that information. So let's take a quick look at this just as a basis. The 8.4, this is saying, hey, we have ESS units we're going to put on the exterior wall. And just the baseline, the charging language and code says we're going to space those 3 feet apart from each other. And then we're going to have them 5 feet away from windows and doors. That's really just the baseline information or the baseline code. Again, the exception does say if you have large scale fire testing, the 3 feet and the 5 feet can be reduced if the fire code official allows for it. Now, the thing that comes into and what we have a little bit of difference in is 5 feet or 10 feet from a door. And the big question here is that door a means of egress? And so if we are using that door as a means of egress, say, having in a fire situation, this is where we are at getting people to exit out the building, then that 5 feet really is probably going to need to be turned into 10 feet. Again, unless we can show the fire code official, we can reduce that value. So this is the interesting piece here. So 8.4 is telling us that we need to be 5 feet away. 5.8 for the means of egress is telling us that we need to be in no case less than 10 feet. Again, with those exceptions that can be applied. So this is where those 2, you need to really think about this. And then again, the interesting thing here is this is wall-mounted, exterior wall-mounted units that we're talking about. In the other images that we showed, where it's like a pad mount or something like that, then we are going to, to be a little bit more clear because we're not on the side of the building. We're going to have maintain those separations from the building and stuff anyway. And then the means of egress will come into play though as well for those applications near doors. So real quick, just looking at this visually, again, charging language, if that's a means of egress, then you would have 10 feet there on the left, you have 3 feet in between, and then a 5 foot distance from the window. So this just means we've got multiple code sections. You need to look at them all. You need to understand where it is that you're installing, means of egress, all of those things in order to make sure that you're properly spacing your energy storage systems from everything else. All right. So that covers the egress size and separation aspect of Article 1207 in IFC. I encourage you to take a look at our website if there's other topics that you might be interested in. We have a number of courses on energy storage, on PV systems, so please take a look at those and see if there's something that we might be able to help you with on your education in the industry. And then finally, always love questions and comments. If there's a topic you'd like to see us discuss in the future, or if you have questions on this or other Code Corners, always happy to have you reach out to us. Here's a few ways you can find us, and appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you at the next Code Corner.